If we feel good about ourselves, then we forget about ourselves and we can focus on other people.
Ooh, say that one more time.
When we feel good about ourselves, we then forget about ourselves so we can focus on other people.
Hello, dear listeners. It's that time again when we stroll through the paths of ambition, desire, and success. Welcome to the Dare to Declare podcast, where we explore the enchanting world of giant manifestors who've turned their visions and goals into the stuff of legends. I couldn't help but wonder, how do some people create the lives they've always dreamed of? Is it the magic of manifesting, the power of perseverance, or perhaps just a dash of serendipity? Well, dear friends, grab your coffee cups because we're about to spill the tea on fascinating journeys of those who dare to dream big and make it happen. Join me as we sip on success stories and ponder the ever-enticing question, can we all manifest our dreams into reality, or is it just an urban fairy tale? I'm your host, Debbi Sluys, and I'm here to guide you through the labyrinth of achievement with heart and soul. Ready to dare to declare? Let's get started.
Hi, everyone. I am really excited to introduce my guest speaker today. So her name is Dawn Mattera Corsi. Dawn, a former engineer turned best-selling author and award-winning speaker, has spent 25 plus years helping women design their best life. Drawing on her background in the defense industry, adult education, and health and wellness sectors, she empowers audiences to rise above burnout, lead with purpose, and achieve breakthrough results. Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Me too. When we first connected, I was really excited because you are also someone who's in the Canfield community.
Yes.
And so we're talking.
We're sisters.
That's right. So we're talking about Jack Canfield. And you, though, have been in his community even longer than I have. I think it was since the 90s, you said. Is that right?
That is correct. When the Chicken Soup for the Soul series was coming out and getting more and more copies, more and more versions, I should say, he spoke at a conference that I attended, and so it was awesome to see him speak live, and of course, been following him ever since. And then just when the opportunity came up to be one of his certified trainers, I'm going to say I jumped on the opportunity and I signed up for it. But you know what? I didn't take the actual training until I had foot surgery and I had to be off my foot for 2 months. So I used that time to take the training, and that's how I became a certified trainer for him.
Isn't that interesting? I hear people talk about situations like that and saying, it was the universe's way of slowing me down to, give me pause. And I love that you took that time to continue to grow your mind and grow your business.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because it would have been so easy to fall into, oh, poor me. I can't go out. Oh, it's horrible. But no, I said, no, this is a chance for me to finally take the time, make the time to do something I want to do.
And I also just want to acknowledge you. So how long were you off with your foot then?
2 months, I had to be off of my foot. And I had one of those weird knee roller things around the house. I had this other strange thing that I could at least go out of the house. But I was pretty much homebound for 2 months.
And so you did the training in 2 months?
Yes, I did. Oh, I powered through it. I
You
I looked at it
did.
like like I don't want to say a job, but put it down every day. I was sitting at this at my kitchen table with my foot propped up off to the side and going through those lessons.
I've got the binder right here. I'm just going to show people while we're on that. People
Right.
that are watching through YouTube, look
Yeah.
at this. This isn't printed out, okay?
Yes.
Like, it is not an easy feat. I also did it in 2 months. And so that is why you and I are attracted to each other, um, as we are ambitious go-getters.
That's right. That's right.
And I love that. I love that you took that time to do that because, like I said, it could have just been, and nobody would have faulted you to say, take your time off, just take care of yourself. And you were, but you were still making best use of that time. So tell me, let's just stay there for a few minutes. In terms of the training and the success principles, how do you use that within your work?
Well, as you well know, the success principles are keys to living life. No matter what somebody does, whether they're employed by a company, whether they're self-employed, they're retired, whether they're teenagers, college students, anybody can use these success principles. And so I like to weave them with my work, especially now in the last, let's say 5 years. Really, my focus for my target market are women over 40, because at this time in our lives, we start to think, oh my gosh, is it too late? Am I too old to learn something new? And we've always put ourselves to the back burner because priorities took precedence over what we needed to do. And that's awesome. That's what we wanted to do. We chose to do that with love. So now I incorporate these success principles into either my keynote speeches. I have one of my keynotes is called 5 Keys to a Dolce Vita, and the word Dolce Vita is a sweet life, and it's DOLCE. And one of the keys, I talk about what I consider one of the foundational principles of the success principles, and that's E plus R equals O, where event plus our response equals the outcome. And again, as you well know, especially as we get older, we tend to look back and things, and we carry a lot of baggage with us, and we have events that were very hurtful, and they could be holding us back. So the event, the E of the equation, we can't change that, especially if it's in the past. How we respond to it will determine the rest of the outcome of the rest of our lives. And of course, to summarize E plus R equals O is that we are 100% responsible for our lives. And when people hear that, they'll either say, oh, you know what? She's right. Or they say, wait, what? How can you say that? You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I'm going through. And they're probably right. I don't. But I do know they have a choice of how to respond to that. Where's the silver lining? What can they learn from this? And if it's something horrible that we don't even want to talk about here, they can use that to help somebody else in the future. Their test will become their testimony.
I love that. It's a writer downer right there. That's awesome. Yeah, you are preaching my message as well. I love the E plus R equals O. It has become a foundational piece of my work as well. So
Right.
That's awesome. So let's go back a little bit for you. In your bio, it talked about you were an engineer and also defense industry, like those things pique my interest because typically those are not in the past have not been female kinds of occupations. So what led you from those occupations to what you're doing now?
Yes. And you're absolutely right. At the time that when I was in college going to school for engineering, I actually got a scholarship for being a minority because I was a female engineer.
Wow.
I'm thinking, hey, buddy, call me whatever you want. If you're going to help me pay college, because I was paying it myself,
Yeah.
I'll take it. You can call me Fred. I don't care. And so I did spend 11 years in the defense industry, and being a minority at that time, the company I was working for was very anxious to push me up the corporate ladder, which I was capable of, but I hated the politics. Just that didn't do well with me. And even though I loved what I did and some of my coworkers were awesome, it was the politics, they're patting you on the back. They're really looking for a soft place to put the knife. And that was not for me. So my stress level was growing. I'd get the Sunday afternoon stomach ache knowing I had to go back there tomorrow. And that just wasn't right. And as I climbed the corporate ladder, my health and well-being slid off the backside. And so I realized I need to do something because I'm heading down a path of destruction if I keep this up. And so I started to take care of myself physically and mentally. And that's when I started to look at the the books that I've read, because my father was always, first of all, and he's the first person that encouraged me to get into engineering. Always believed I could do anything. And he devoured self-help books like Dale Carnegie and John Maxwell and all those kind of books. And so I was reading those books as well. And I started, including Jack Canfield's books, and realized I need to implement what I've been reading and put it into action. And as I did, that's when I realized this is a game changer. It's knowledge is one thing, but we have to put it into action to make it work. And so that became my mission, was to help people realize you can do this. These are these principles that it worked for me. It can work for you. Let me show you how. And that's how I went into the whole health and wellness industry, changed careers, totally jumped out. Everyone was shocked because, engineers, we made pretty good money, but, my health was worth something too.
That's right. Yeah. You don't have your health, then there is no wealth, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sharing all of that. So, let's also just go back to, tell us a little bit more about you. So, I know you have a cat who thinks it's a dog.
You.
So tell us a little bit more about who you are.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as a longtime dog person, lifelong dog person, I've had dogs most of my life. We inherited a cat a few months ago, and the cat, thankfully for me as a dog person, it thinks it's a dog. It likes belly rubs. It loves steak. So go figure. And that's another example of E plus R equals O. The event, the cat arrived on our laps, literally and figuratively. Now, my response could be, well, I'm allergic. I'm not a cat person. But you know what? A friend of mine, and my husband is a cat person. And a friend of mine a long time ago said, if it's important to your husband, it's important to you. And I said, yep. And I said, all right. I remember her always telling me that. And here, I love it. The cat's great. The cat loves me. I love the cat. We're good. I take allergy meds and life is happy. And yeah,
Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, like, it's funny how things worked out with my husband as well, because the part of getting older is that as women, we start to feel even unattractive. We start to feel that, we feel unfulfilled. And and my husband I'm with now, this is my second marriage. I was married for 24 years when he asked for a divorce. And so that was a little shocking. And I was embarrassed by it as well. I mean, that's something that did not happen in my family, for heaven's sake, or in my community. And so here I was in my upper 40s when that happened. And I thought, oh my gosh, am I ever going to find love again? And not only did I find love, I found the love of my life. We have so much in common. And we're both Italian Americans, second generation Italian Americans. And this is another part of the story where that ties in. One of my life quotes is, when was the last time you did something for the first time? And if it's been too long or you don't remember, you need to change that, because doing new things makes life more interesting. And studies show that it might even help our brains from cognitive decline. So one of the things that I did for the first time is I was in my 40s and I moved to Florence, Italy to attend school for the language. And so, of course, before I did that, I was, oh my gosh, am I too old? Can you teach an old dog new tricks, like how to conjugate verbs? And is it too late to do something like this? And somebody said to me, if you don't do it in 10 years, will you regret it? The decision was made. So I moved to Florence, Italy. I lived with a widow that she did not speak English, which helped me because I had to speak Italian. And that decision literally changed the trajectory of my life. Not only did it make our travels more interesting, and at this point I hadn't met my now husband, it made travel more interesting. It proved, yes, you can teach an old dog new tricks. It takes us a little longer, might need a belly rub or two, but we can learn, and it's never too late. And And as I got more involved with the Italian culture, that I wanted to also share that with my fellow paisans, with my other people of Italian heritage. And with that language skill, we were able to find my husband's family in Italy. And they're from a really small town, so none of them speak English. And so I was able to, and I'm still able to communicate and find, it's like finding a hidden treasure. And so that one decision of the last time I did something for the first time, it changed everything.
Oh, so good. This is so hope-filled because some of my listeners and clients have, gone through separation, divorce, or they're widowed. And to hear your beautiful story of finding love and it just being so deep and beautiful and also connected to both of your heritage. Now, did you meet your husband in Italy?
No, it's funny. We were both, oh, and we met online, by the way.
Okay.
Because I had a home-based office, and unless I had the hots for the UPS man, I had to do it online. And so, and we met online. And it's funny, I went away to Italy. We go every year, and I went away to Italy. So I took myself off of the website, the dating website. I came back, and then the next day I put myself back on. And my husband, my now husband, he was about to give it up. He was almost ready to quit the website. So if I had waited a couple of days, I would have missed him. And so that's how we met. And we met in the Little Italy part of Rhode Island. So I will say that. So that little, not Italy, but Little Italy.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's been magic ever since.
And I think you told me before that you've been, is it 27 times to Italy?
29. We just
29, yeah.
29th trip we made in May, June of this year, and we already have trip number 30 planned for next year.
Wow. And so you have incorporated the Italian way of being into your life, but also, as you said, you want to share it with others into your work. Can you talk a little bit about your acronym?
Yes, yes. So the keys to a dolce vita, it's 5 letters, DOLCE, and the D stands for designing your best life. What does that best life look like? O is being open to opportunities. L is about living, loving, and laughing. And that's where I talk about E plus R equals O. The C is about connection, because connection is such a key to a happy, full life. And Blue Zone studies where that's Blue Zones, in case people don't know, that's areas of the world where they have a population over 100 that's higher than normal. And the connection is one of those keys to a happy, healthy life. And then the E is about enthusiasm.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I hope that whoever again is listening, if you didn't have a pen and paper, go back, zip back, go catch all of that. And I know that our mutual friend Jack Canfield is really keen on the Blue Zone and talking about that. That's been a big part, and I know that he still, of course, has passions, and this is part of his retirement. I think is that he's really keen on researching more about that, living that out. So, but there's someone else that has also been a big influence in your life, and it's Lisa Nichols. And I know Lisa and Scott were both in the movie The Secret together.
Right.
And so can you talk a bit about how Lisa has influenced your life and your work?
Yes, yes. And I first heard of Lisa with The Secret back, oh my gosh, how many years ago was that, right? And it's funny how, and I've co-authored books with both of them, The Keys to Authenticity with Jack Canfield, and that my chapter in that book was the 5 keys to a Dolce Vita. And so we wrote the book, and then I went to a conference that later that year when it came out where Jack was there, and I won Editor's Choice Award for my chapter. And Lisa Nichols was also one of the keynote speakers at that conference. Met her, and then I was invited to write a chapter with her book Rise Up as well. And I saw both of them just this past September in California. They were both we were all at the same event again. And Lisa just has this power, this gift of seeing people, and you feel instantly loved and accepted when you meet her. And she puts all her focus on you, and like you are the only person in the room, and you're the most important person in that room. And that is such a gift. And I want to embody that as well, so that people do feel seen and heard and loved.
What a beautiful legacy. And don't you wish that when you were in the room, people spoke that way of you? I think that's
Yes.
amazing. So you also have a phrase, la belle figura.
La bella figura. Right. Yep. Yep.
So tell us a bit about that phrase and how that has informed your work as well.
Yes. La bella figura in the Italian, the literal translation is a nice figure. A nice, so that would imply health, that you're taking care of yourself physically. Now, that's not saying we have to be skinny. It just means that we do things so that we're eating as healthy as possible. I mean, I could lose 20 pounds, but I eat fairly healthy. Try to take good care of my skin and all that. But then the figurative meaning of la bella figura is to make a good impression. And that, to me, it not only is it something in the Italian culture, you're ingrained in that from birth. And here's why. Number one, it's about respect. Being respectful of where you are. So if you're going to a wedding, if you're going to an interview, if you're doing something, and you want to be dressed appropriately because you're showing respect to your host. It's also that you are an ambassador for your family, whether you like it or not. People will judge you and your family and your community. Like if I say I'm an engineer and I look a certain way, people are going to think, oh, well, that's what engineers look like. Or whatever. Oh, that's what people from Rhode Island look like, or that's how they act and behave. So that's another reason why La Bella Figura is so important. And then taking it internally, I noticed that people feel better about themselves when they take a little time, just make an effort, comb your hair, brush your teeth, put on a clean shirt, and they feel better. I remember one time I was helping a friend that she was going for a job interview. So I was helping her go buy something to wear. And when she was walking in, she just had on her jeans and her old sweatshirt, and she was just walking sort of normal for her, kind of hunched over. And when she put on this dress and she came out, she was standing taller, the posture, the confidence that was on her face. So it's not just about respect and you're an ambassador, but also it makes you feel better. And here's the thing, it is not being selfish. If we feel good about ourselves, then we forget about ourselves and we can focus on other people.
Ooh, say that one more time. That is good.
Yep. When we feel good about ourselves,
Yeah.
we then forget about ourselves so we
Okay.
can focus on other people.
Oh, so good. I've never heard that before. And that so delicious. And it sucks out this idea and just like squishes the idea of selfishness. Like
Right.
that's it right there.
Yes. Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's not being selfish. It's not vanity. It's being, again, just releasing. Because do you ever you put on something and it doesn't fit right all day? You're pulling at it. You feel uncomfortable. You have ingrown eyeballs because you feel so uncomfortable with what you're wearing. But if you feel good, you forget and then you focus.
Ah, so good. Thank you for that. Well, this has been so many nuggets that you've dropped here, so much value. How can people find you? And you see, if you're again watching, you can see her books lined up behind her. And yeah, how can people work with you and connect with you?
Yep. I'm on social media platforms. So on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and they can also reach me through my website, which is www.yourdolcevita.com.
Okay. And can you talk about a little bit about your latest book?
Yes. My latest book that was released about a year ago is called Redeem Your Roots. And it's a book about helping people connect to their heritage so they can create a richer life and then they can continue the legacy for the future. Because so many people, they especially around the holidays or around birthdays and special events, they start to feel that, oh, I miss the good old days, and they start to feel sad about it. And this is for any culture, by the way, not just Italian culture. It could be, you could be Greek, Mandalorian, whatever. And so it's about it's saying, okay, I can connect to my roots. And connecting to your heritage, number one, it honors your ancestors. The other thing is that it gives you a sense of grounding, the sense of roots that are so important, especially when the world is crazy. You have something to hold on to, and you're part of something bigger than yourself. And then you can incorporate your heritage, your traditions, and your customs, make your life more fulfilling. And then you teach it to the next generation so your heritage doesn't get lost.
Mm, love that. You know, it has extra meaning for me too, being adopted. And so, right, there's the blood genetics around why I look the way that I do, and some of my characteristics, but there's also adopted into a culture, like in my case was from the Netherlands and Dutch. I don't look Dutch, you know, even my children are all blonde hair, blue eyes, and tall. But there's something about the Dutch culture that I really love, and I've definitely adopted myself into that, and taught my children some of those things too. So love that around this anchor, like the heritage really anchors you, and that was really important to me also as an adopted child. So you don't feel like you're just kind of floating, that you don't have that background, those roots. Yeah. So
And
thank you.
yeah,
for sharing.
and if somebody, and like you said, or somebody, either they're adopted and they're raised in a culture, or someone gets married into a culture, or somebody did those DNA tests and they figured out, oh my gosh, I'm German. Where do I find Lederhosen?
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, just a funny little question. What's your favorite Italian food?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I'm gonna have to say, well, if it's a dessert, it would have to be a sfogliatella, which is a Neapolitan dessert. But for a meal, I'd say lasagna.
Okay. And do you are you have you elevated in your cooking since
Oh, I believe so. Yes. Yes. I've learned little tricks and little tricks of the trade as you go along. And when we're over there, one of my family members, they own a restaurant. So, I'll get the inside
Oh,
scoop. Why does this taste so good? What did you do?
well, when you talked about that 20 pounds, I would easily put that on with that kind of cooking for sure. And they know wine, right? So are you a wine connoisseur?
I am not a connoisseur. I know what I like, and I don't know anything about like after notes and all that. I just know what I like. But yes, we do. I have a glass of wine with dinner, and my family. Of course, everybody there makes wine. My family,
Yeah.
and they make wine. My husband's family, they make more prosecco more than wine.
Right. And is that more used for celebration or
In most parts of Italy, yes. Where we in America or in North America would use champagne, Italians will use prosecco.
yeah, yeah. Which when we were speaking before too, you talked about this putting your best foot forward, being the
Mhm.
ambassador you're from, which is really that celebration all the time, right? Of who you are. So any final words as we close up today?
Yes, that it is never too late. You are never too old to go out there and create your best life.
Hmm. So good. Thank you so much for being here, Dawn. I just so appreciate you.
My
So
pleasure.
glad that we've connected. And to the listener, be bold, be brave, and don't forget to dare to declare.
Today, we've delved into the realm of manifesting giants, exploring the power of declaring our desires to the universe with unapologetic boldness. But before we bid adieu, I have a little something special to share with all of you dreamers out there. Introducing the Dare to Declare Vision Board magazine and online DIY Vision Board course, your ticket to manifesting greatness in style. Picture this: flipping through pages filled with inspiring images, empowering quotes, and step-by-step guides to help you create the vision board of your dreams. Whether you're yearning for that spacious condo with a view or a love that sets your soul on fire, our magazine is here to guide you every step of the way. Dive deep into the art of manifesting with our exclusive online DIY vision board course. Led by manifesting expert, yes, yours truly, and seasoned dreamers. This course will teach you the ins and outs of creating a vision board that speaks to your heart and soul. So what are you waiting for? Join the ranks of the manifesting giants and dare to declare your wildest dreams to the universe. Head over to our website, debbisluys.com, and grab your copy of the Dare to Declare Vision Board magazine and enroll in our online DIY Vision Board course today. Until next time, keep dreaming big and daring to declare, because in the world of manifesting, the sky's the limit.